Very good morning, students. So today we are dealing with a particular topic in Psychon, which is the skeleton of Psychon. So here, special kind of needle-like structures, as you can see in the picture, they are present in whole of the body of the Psychon. And basically these are acting as bones in the sponge, and they are responsible for making a skeleton, or specifically saying an endoskeleton in case of sponges. Along with these spicules, sponges have a second component of the skeleton which is called as the spongin fibers. So these are also present in between a woven kind of a structure which is present in between these spicules, and that is also providing support to the skeletal system. So, in sponges, if we talk about the skeletal system or the skeleton of sponge, it is composed of two components. Number one, these are the spicules. Number two, these are the spongin fibers. This particular picture shows long needle-like structures, which are the spicules. So these are formed from a particular raw material which includes silica. So these are siliceous spicules. The second form of spicules can be calcareous spicules, which are containing the calcium. So if we talk about the types of spicules which are present in the sponges, these are basically of four major types. First, it is the monoaxon spicules. So these are long, thin, needle-like structures which are having a single axon. Single axons means these are needle-like and they are cylindrical in shape and they are tipped on both the sides. So the previous diagram was showing a monaxon spicule. So these are the monaxon spicules. So these are needle-like and they have got single axon. If we go to the second type, it is a triaxon spicule. Triaxon means they have got three axons. So they are radiating out at same angles from the center. So this is a hexaactine kind of a spicule. It has got 6 axons, and this type is the tetraaxon with 4 axons meeting in the center. So the last is the polyaxon spicule. So out of these forms, monoaxon, triaxon and tetraaxons are the most important types. So first of all, something about monoaxon spicules. So these are long needle-like structures, and these may be further of two types. First type is uniradiate monoaxon spicules, and second type is biradiate. Biradiate is also called as diactinal. So monoactinal and diactinal are the types of monoaxon spicules. To see the difference between these two types, the monoradiate and biradiate monoaxon spicules, we have to go by the development. So here in this picture, I am showing you the development of a spicule. Now, here two cells are responsible for making a spicule which is of a monoaxon type. So, for making a monoaxon spicule, we should have at least two cells, and these two cells are the founder cell and the thickener cell. The founder cell has got all the raw materials which are required to form the spicule. So founder cell has got all the materials. And what is the function of the thickener cell? It provides length to the spicule. So here, As you can see in the first diagram, this particular cell is the founder cell, and it is providing the raw materials, which is calcium carbonate over here. So the thickener cell is going in upward directions. Now here, these two cells, they are separating, and in between a spicule is formed. Now this is the final spicule formed. And if one cell is moving upwards and the founder cell is stationary, it will be a monoradiate spicule. And if two thickener cells, then it will be a biradiate monoaxon spicule. This particular diagram shows the formation of a triradiate spicule. Now here we need at least 6 cells to form a triradiate spicule. So generally the number of cells required are double the type of the spicule. If we are forming a monoradiate spicule, we need 2 cells. If we are making a triradiate spicule, we need 6 cells. So my question is, if we are making a tetraradiate spicule, how many cells we require? Yeah, these are 8 in number. So we require 8 cells. Now here we are taking the formation of a triradiate spicule. So we are having 6 cells. Out of these 6 cells, 3 are the founder cells and 3 are the thickener cells. So as you can see in the last diagram, here we have 3 founder cells and we have got 3 thickener cells. So the function of the thickener cell was to provide length to the spicule, and founder cell was giving the raw materials from the center. So this particular spicule is being pulled apart into 3 directions from the center. So these thickener cells, they are pulling the spicule into 3 directions. So finally a triradiate spicule is formed. Here in picture A and B, you can see different types of spicules, and the picture C is again showing the formation of a monoaxon spicule and a triaxon spicule. Students, this is the second component of the skeleton, which is the spongin fibers. So these are the modified collagen proteins which are present in the sponges, and they make a mesh-like structure in which the spicules are embedded. So here the 4 diagrams A, B, C and D are showing the spongian fibers at different magnifications. So you can well imagine that what kind of a mesh network is found in the mesoglia of the sponges. So this whole skeleton, the 2 components of the skeleton, they are found in the mesoglia, the central layer of the sponge. And this particular diagram shows the spongian fibers with the yellow arrows and the spicules with black arrows.